More vengeance!
Close some eyes. Close your eyes, everybody.
The League doesn't yet know we're here, but we can't stay hidden forever. As a leader, Kron is formidable. The League's savagery fuels the fire burning within us all. Klein's and Beck's devotion puts mine to shame.
Although League Command are unaware of our activities, our planned attack on enemy ground bases will trigger their spy satellites unless disabled first. You are required to target the satellite deployment installation, which maintains a full cloak on all satellites. Once destroyed, the satellites will be revealed. Using a modified version of the leech beam, download a virus to each one to enable our assault to proceed. Avoid damaging satellites, as this will alert enemy defenses and constitute a failed mission.
Don't worry, we can still use it to drain shields.
So, destroying the satellite alerts enemies, but not the satellite deployment installation cloaking them all?
Or, all the people we're going to be shooting the crap out of.
Yeah, I guess those are there too.
This is Ops. Destroy the
So our goal in this act, which would lead into the next set of missions in a new system, in fact, we're going to try to bomb this planet, which we think is like where their bases are.
Okay.
Let's get this one over and get out of
Okay.
So I want to talk about something that has come up over in the past few days. Is somebody showed me how to extract files out of PlayStation discs. And I listened to a lot of cut content from Colony Wars 1, which is pretty good. And I'm a bit surprised to say that there's not as nearly as much cut content from Vengeance as I was expecting. But it was a game they crammed everything into one disc, so I'm not too surprised.
Sure. Okay.
There were a lot of voice accents though for for those guys who say all that stuff. And I'm surprised to find out there were actually League pilots who insult you.
Interesting.
And they have the most amazing, mook voices that I could have imagined.
I'm not sure if that counts as humanizing or dehumanizing your enemy. Actually giving them voices on one hand, but giving them amazingly weird accents on the other.
It is the League we're talking about.
Yeah, true.
Taking on facility, not that bad, especially since there's not terrible flak like there was in the first game.
So this research facility is actually the satellite deployment thing they were talking about?
Yeah, don't...
See, you're still using your sublight lasers or whatever those things are.
The anti-shield laser.
Yeah, right. Moving at what?
I think this would be sublight right here.
50 kilometers an hour or whatever.
I don't exactly know how you drain shields to transfer them to your own, but
It's
these ships have a metabolism of their own, I guess.
moon magic.
It's Evangelion all over again.
Right, yeah.
Just eat the angels. Look, I was at least pretty happy with how I was engaging this facility because I kept making passes and doing something like this.
Not just shifting forward and backwards again. I see
Yeah,
we've
it was
still got
completely unnecessary. See, that was cool.
There you go.
You should be able to spot the satellites now on your scanner. Approach each satellite and download the virus.
You mean upload?
You mean upload the virus? Yes.
I don't think this is a good idea, Ops.
Yeah. See, I'm not downing anything here. The satellite's like a toilet. It's just taking it.
Sure.
Downloaded, sure.
Virus download.
Every time you approach one, a new guy will come out and attack you.
So how many years after Colony Wars 1 was this?
30? Let's
Okay.
just say 30. Canonically it said 20 to 30, but we're just going to go with 30 because, goddamn, they have a lot of amazing new technology in this game.
So there's been 30 years of divergent programming architecture between Earth and the League's computer systems.
You're going to want to hold on to that till the end of the game.
Commander Kron is very pleased with current progress as Navy units continue to record successful attacks on League installations. The element of surprise is proving valuable. Now the spy satellite network has been disabled, we can prepare to launch an attack on the planet itself. We will also continue to hunt down the League command bases, which must be hidden within Gallonigher.
They must be, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like people change their seat of government in 30 years.
True. Although, I mean, there would be some sort of at least regional oversight, given the presence of the spy satellites. I assume.
The symbolic value as well.
Yeah,
Your
sure.
failure to successfully disable the League spy
Failure.
satellites
Whoa.
is resulting in heavy enemy aggression. The Navy battleship currently in orbit is being targeted by League squadrons. Intelligence data indicates the possible use of jump missiles. Engage all enemy craft attempting to attack the battleship and ensure its safety. If jump missiles are used, they will emerge from a nearby jump gate and home in on the craft. You will need to drain their power using your leech beam before switching to guns to complete the task.
So, that's some pretty amazing shielding for a missile.
Mm-hmm. It's a jump missile.
Mertens decline, get out of the way. So the two frigates that are going to be on the planet in the next mission, they're jumping in and now they're vulnerable to these jump missiles and a whole host of enemies.
So these massive capital ships are atmosphere capable.
Sure, well,
sure,
and
sure.
they're just frigates though.
It's fine. I thought we already established that even the fighters were the size of small cities. We've been over this.
Especially now, the hitbox has got a lot bigger. Point that there's like a 5-inch space above and all around the craft.
Well,
Do you see that warning down there?
I do.
That did not happen.
Okay.
But there actually was I actually want to point out there was a cut piece of dialogue saying, "Stop doing that, or you're going to lose your Navy status." So here's the best part about the leech beam. It's completely okay to drain ally shields.
Yay.
Urgent assistance required.
Oh, thanks, Scotland.
Oh, okay. Nice to see you're contributing a bit. Now, my question is, can you steal shields from your own pod?
Yes.
Oh boy.
It does not count against the Navy status.
I thought the pods were true citizens of the Empire.
They are, because I shot at one, and it
Navy
happened.
battleship. Scanners have reported an imminent League jump missile attack. Will not be able to withstand an accurate strike. You must disable them.
That was more Irish that time.
I want to point out that I don't know why that. I think my pod flew into it and blew up.
Good.
Because if you ram into them, they explode, and that's like an entire bar of your health gone. So if you do that twice, I think it's these ones. There's one case of that happening in some other mission. So yeah, you drain the shields, they stop moving, and you can shoot them.
Using your leech beams to drain their power as they exit.
And back on the leech beam and the pods, I want to point out that if your pod is destroyed, you get it back. I can tell now because I have my pod back. So it obviously flew into that missile and blew up.
So you've been building a new one in your spare time there in the cockpit or whatever.
Yeah, we just have infinite pods
Sure.
if one gets destroyed.
Why not? Is there a delay between losing one and launching one?
No. If you lose one, it's right there
Interesting.
again. I don't remember too much about it. I don't think it actually came up in the cut dialogue about pods, but yeah, oh wait, there was one. Something about launching that you would have multiple pods on your ship, so there was obviously something about that. Yeah, so just something they did, something they changed for some reason or other.
Jump gate.
So this only happens if you duff the satellites mission.
Oh yeah.
Intelligence units are now gathering data on the battleship's target. We will shortly be able to proceed with Navy operations within this sector. You should, of course, expect further resistance.
We've got an amazing mission coming up. Elimination of League Supermen. So, here we go. Automatically assigned for every planet-side mission. The dropship.
Reconnaissance scans of the planet bases reveal a supergun capable of severely hindering our progress. However, the required target coordinates are not yet available. Shield generators protect the gun's 3 power reactors. You must destroy the shield generators before disabling each reactor. Once these are disabled, tag the reactors using your probe pods. The Navy battleship will then calculate the target coordinates and take out the gun.
The next ship we unlock, it functions like this one, but fully upgraded.
Navy intelligence is relying on your success. removing the reactor.
You know what this reminds me of? Terminal Velocity. Old game for, I guess, PC it was. Just looked a bit like this. A lot of surface flying around.
The goal is destroy the shield generator.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think, okay, I'll just probe the reactor after that. No, you have to drop the reactor shields for some reason. Then you probe that and move on to the next one. So you have 5 minutes to do all that.
What does probing consist of? Just flying close to it?
Launching a pod.
Oh, okay.
The plot pod.
Right, right.
There was a new character introduced in this mission. You heard him at the first. Man, even the League's staffed by all ladies. Oh, I should really just point out that pretty much every voice in the game is female.
Oh, alright.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, we've been losing all the men.
The first character, some guy named Drake, has like a voice modulator going on. We never find out who he is.
Cool.
We never find out who he is. He apparently works for intelligence. And then that's it. He just kind of pipes in. Nobody ever acknowledges his existence.
Maybe he's a hallucination. Just Mertens.
He must be.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, no one, his name is never said. Unless, like, it's always Drake to Mertens. Like, that's the only time it's said. Mertens never even Mertens never acknowledges him. Even though that's who he's talking to.
It's like a wonderful mind there.
So there's some amount of detail in this mission.
Mm-hmm.
There was also some cut dialogue from this one as well.
Yeah, we've got some N64 Turok levels of fog and pop in here. But I suppose there's only so much.
The ships are up in the sky. There was a cut dialogue about them being attacked and you'd have to go save them.
Okay.
And there's also an exhaust trail coming out of the back of that super gun.
Right.
Just because they had to put it there.
Sure, why not?
This is Mertens. Reactors are also down.
Is the ballista similar to the Spook that you're currently driving?
No, that's also one of their space vehicles.
Okay.
I really don't like that. Once we start unlocking even better ships in the next one, that means this thing becomes outdated real fast, but they base the missions around the ship you have, so
Sure.
they don't get too strong.
Complete. This is Navy battleship. Congratulations, pilot. Move out of the air.
Gosh.
Voice.
That was... I mean, in a universe of bad accents, that one was top
I think
tier.
our pod was flying towards the explosion, too.
Our successful operation against the League's supergun will leave them in no doubt that they are dealing with a committed force capable of exacting retribution for the years spent imprisoned in Sol. Unfortunately, it now appears that Gallonigher is no longer the League's home system. We have been misled by our own intelligence divisions. Commander Kron is extremely angry and has summoned the units responsible to an emergency tribunal. Further action is likely to be taken.
Shoot the messenger.
What do you think further action is?
Well, you know, whatever the distance between the noose and the gallows is.
So we saw the plasma cannon where it was just like, it charges up and then you can fire it while it's selected. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that was like if there was unmitigated success. Now we have to see what happens if the Navy cannot stop the comms rig, which is the most likely thing that's going to happen to you on your first time playing.
Sure.
Return for debriefing.
Also, they rub your nose in it. This cutscene lasts about 40 seconds. I don't know why. Look at our comms dish.
There it is.
Making all these little comms.
Unfortunately, our inability to halt construction of the League communications rig means that enemy high command are now undoubtedly aware of our presence within Gallonigher. Commander Kron hopes you realize that as a result of your failure, all units will undoubtedly meet high levels of resistance.
I'm surprised.
Well, if you wanted to succeed, then you should have sent more people.
Yeah, that's true. Starting to feel that the Navy's not quite as staffed as they should be.
It seems a fool's journey, but we believe we can defeat the League. Klein and Bex laugh facing enemy guns. Insane. But I can't help feeling death is closer than we think.
League fleets are already attempting to prevent us progressing further. Acts of sabotage have been reported by several units. A Navy installation has been targeted by League craft who have surrounded it with unstable reactors leaking dangerous levels of radiation. The installation cannot be used until this threat is removed. A jump gate will be opened in the installation's vicinity. You are required to grapple the reactors and throw them through the jump gate before radiation levels reach critical. The installation's survival is at stake, though you must also be aware of your own safety, as this jump gate is extremely powerful. If you approach too close, you will be pulled in.
So now, this is the League we know all too well as the War Crimes Edition.
Right, right.
Even though it was really the Navy doing this kind of shit. I'm pretty sure this exact scenario came up in the system database from the first game.
I like your enthusiastic slamming right into it right at the beginning.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to get rid of this ship later.
Hey, old friend. Glad you're here to help me out on this one.
So, you have a very generous time limit. It only fails if it sits at the other, like the very far end for like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
If you fly into that jump gate, you die.
Oh.
You have to fly just close enough that it will pull in the reactors, which, you know, I don't see why this is the only way to deal with it. Because it's still trailing radiation.
Sure, but there's actually an attraction radius of the jump gate.
Grapple released.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Watch your lasers don't overheat. You're doing good, friend. Just go back and get the second one.
Are you not gonna get one there, Klein?
No, he doesn't know how to do that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's League fighters all around that jump in every time one's pulled through.
Gallonigher installation to friendly fighters. Move those reactors away from the platform. If they go, they'll take us with them.
All right, Tex.
If my voice goes, no one will miss it. So it's important to talk about where this act is. Oh wait, I think something is... is it going to happen here? I think so. Oh no, hang on. It caught my attention. Wait, hang on. I'm waiting for it. There we go. Defense pod sucked in by jump gate.
Wow.
You fucking had one job.
That's fine. Just summon it again.
For sure, you can see I had it selected and I still want.
Yeah.
So the thing that's important to talk about this act is that with that comms dish, the entire League knows that they've been attacked now and they're mobilizing.
Right.
Failure in this act is the bad ending.
The successful protection of the installation allows us to continue building the required forces within this system. Commander Kron is anxious for us to proceed as rapidly as possible. It is important that the League do not have sufficient time to mobilize all their defenses. League ambushes are currently increasing, causing severe disruption to our military objectives. A Navy battleship has escaped such an ambush by entering a warp hole. However, its exit is blocked by mines. We have commissioned a support craft to clear a path, but it is likely to face attacks from League craft. You are required to protect the support craft as it deactivates the mines. Be aware that we cannot sustain further losses.
Which is really be aware that if you fail this mission, that's game over.
So, your capital ship has already entered.
This is Navy battleship. We're low on fuel and can't stay inside much longer. You must get those mines out of our path.
Alright, Senpai.
What was that?
Going to engage.
She's like a high school girl. For
Okay.
sure. It's like... this... You'll hear more of it later, but this mission is absolutely a filler mission.
Sure.
You cannot fail this mission.
Oh.
The Navy frigate has enough health that the starting wave cannot destroy it.
To Mertens, keep those fighters away from us. We'll take the mines.
Oh my god.
So if you just don't destroy the fighters, can you lose? I mean,
Yeah, you can't. I tried, believe me.
because I guess your friends actually do damage in this game, so...
No, no one destroyed anybody. They just couldn't do enough damage.
Targeting Navy
Amazing.
forces.
You are targeting Navy forces.
That's right.
I'm more interested in that planet over there that's like half Mars and half Pluto.
It's just got
Or
a giant
25%.
ice cap or something. Do they go into detail about the planets of Gallonigher in this? Because, yeah, there's no, like, universe encyclopedia like in the last game.
You know, I tried to draw some comparisons and it was kind of impossible.
Sure. Just don't worry about it.
I mean, I guess the planet with the super gun may have been Benet, which is like the capital in CW1, but... I mean, the planet textures have definitely changed, that's for sure.
So you can't destroy those mines yourself, huh?
No,
Just-
I don't have the plot power to do that
Sure.
right now. even though I have roughly the same weapon, which is that lance.
Right. It's a cool weapon.
But the battleship has a bigger one.
Can't really tell how long the range on it is. Is it shorter than your normal lasers?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It has. You can. I think that was pretty much the tip of its range right there.
Sure. One interesting thing about it is because it's instant travel, you can't just keep focusing on the leading target reticle.
This is Navy battleship. That's one we owe you.
Mission complete.
A Disney princess on board.
Disney captain on board, I'll have you know.
Pod returned.
Pod return.
You will be aware that all Navy resources are extremely scarce. Just as the battleship was saved from destruction, it is imperative that we continue protecting all craft under immediate threat of attack. The full mobilization of League units against our forces is now underway. Intelligence data reveals the transfer of fighter hardware from a League installation to fleet craft. You must destroy these fighters during the transfer procedure if we are to have any chance of survival. Security is extremely tight in this sector. All enemy craft are on full alert. If you encroach too close, you will be targeted immediately. Intelligence suggests this may be an ideal opportunity to test-bed the new particle gun.
If you get too close, nothing will happen, don't worry. In fact, that's actually the preferred method you should use on this mission. And you will see. But they were really proud of this particle gun.
Scans indicate heavy League defenses within area.
So here's what it does. Charges up, and it's like a Nikita missile out of MGS, you guide it.
Wow. That doesn't make any sense at all.
It's probably the most, outside of a torpedo, the most powerful single-shot weapon in the game, but it is definitely the most powerful weapon in the game when you discover its little trick like I did. Which I did not know this until it actually happened, so I was pretty happy about it. So this is the way they think, like, they want you to do the mission, but they're not telling you that nothing happens if you get too close. You just snipe them.
Alright, buddy.
Hey, at least it makes sense on a planet.
This weapon would be pretty worthless in space, because you couldn't really dodge or do anything,
Just
and
out
there's
of
no
range.
cover.
We have breached League defense vicinity. League forces have been alerted.
It'd still be pretty good because you can kind of like you can predict. So here's how you use it. While it's charging, it does full damage and it does it at a constant rate. So it's already an instant kill on any fighter.
So
I tried to destroy the hangar, but that thing's invincible. It also has like a ton of shields, but I managed to bring them all down.
just ramming speed the whole sucker, huh?
It's a pretty crazy weapon.
League preparations have been disrupted. Mission complete.
Like losing 6 ships, just destroyed their entire battle plan.
Sure.
So we're okay now.
We are continuing the slow process of consolidating our presence within Gallonigher. Successful operations against League cargo distribution are hampering their attempts to drive us out. However, it was envisaged that we would have discovered the League's central command bases by now. Commander Kron has ordered urgent internal investigations to discover why they still remain hidden.
Kron. I'm imagining him choking all of his underlings all the time.
Something's wrong. The rumors are Gallonigher's not the League's home system after all. We thought it was for the taking, but we're still searching for League command bases. If they can't be found, we'll be locked in this struggle forever.
A Navy battleship due to rendezvous with fleet craft is signaling the imminent arrival of enemy fighters carrying mines. These are presumably intended for attachment to our battleship. Protect this craft from attack. If mines are successfully attached, remove them using your seismic lance. Be aware that such an operation will be subject to strict time limits, as detonation of the mines will rupture the battleship's hull.
So they're putting radioactive radiation leaking reactors around our civilian installation.
This is
Cool.
And now they're just throwing mines onto battleships. It's like they're not even engaging full on when they totally could. You know, because the roles have been the roles have been reversed.
Right.
Let's be honest here.
Right. We're the underdogs here. They're all the power. So, They literally are like attaching bombs to the ship.
Yeah, they're gonna jump in and with a mine on a grapple, and then just like launch it towards the ship. They have 2 frigates in the area, as you will find out, and all those frigates are gonna do is just like poop out more fighters.
Cool. I like the engines; those are cool looking.
Yeah, but the only Navy ship I really like in the fleet craft terms is the frigate, because it's the one that makes the most sense. I'm gonna pull up alongside the battle cruiser here in a second, and you're gonna see why I take a bit issue with that. Just how much damage I took just from ramming that mine.
You can steal its shields or whatever.
I don't have the leech beam. I just have the seismic lance this time.
Steal it later.
You're targeting Navy forces.
By the way, if they get too close, that still does some damage.
Sure.
This is Navy battleship to Navy forces. League fighters have attached mines to our hull. We are unable to remove them. Please assist and use your seismic lance to remove them.
You have about 20 seconds before they go off, and this ship can take a lot of damage, so it's not that bad. But you know what I realized is about this mission is that it's a complete recreation of the event that led up to the events of Colony Wars 1, which was the Battle of Benet, where guerrilla tactics brought down the Navy strike force that they were not prepared to deal with because, you know, they just started the rebellion.
Sure.
See, there's a frigate launching 4 ships, and he just like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Sure, why not?
More League fighters approaching.
I see the capital ships still have the ability to just cloak and uncloak whenever the plot demands it.
Which means they just disappear from the existence entirely.
Sure, right. Phase out of time and space.
Pod released.
Apparently you lost your pod at some point.
The offense pod comes back when its target's destroyed.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, it does not just seek out the guys and fight them.
Garbage pod.
There's a structural problem I have with the Navy battle cruiser.
Explain.
Pod return.
I must have cut out when I looked at it, but it'll show up. Don't worry.
All right.
It's just there's this in between the front and back, which are bulky and big. There's like this stem here. It's like this thin bridge that connects both of them.
Sure.
Which is coincidentally where they're launching their mines.
Right, right.
Isn't it nice to be able to actually evade?
Well, I mean, it's not like the other ones did much damage, but...
Oh, these ones will hurt, though.
Sure. How many can you take before you die, more or less?
About 7. But, I mean, that's... You know, you're going up against, like, three or more guys each time.
Sure.
So they'll also be shooting at you.
This
mission goes on for a long time.
Yeah, I noticed that. Enemies have maximum ammo counts. So many missiles they can fire, just like before.
I think it's only 1.
Okay. So 3 guys is 3 missiles each squad.
If they feel like it.
Sure.
This is Ops. Operation complete. Navy battleship has survived League assault.
If you're playing this mission, that's actually a really rough mission, especially if you're just in the Hex, which I use the ship designated for each of the systems.
The successful defense of the battleship is just one action amongst many that proves we can still take this struggle forward. However, it appears that Gallonigher is no longer the League's home system. We have been misled by our own intelligence divisions. Commander Kron is extremely angry and has summoned the units responsible to an emergency tribunal. Further action is likely to be taken.
So what do you think further action means?
You have to write, "I'm very sorry," on the blackboard 500 times.
So if you fail that act after the comms rig
The erosion
failure,
of Navy resources within Gallonigher has left us unable to defend ourselves against the League. Our remaining intelligence units have been captured, and scan data shows that enemy prison bays are currently arriving in the vicinity. Commander Kron is personally supervising the closure of all Navy broadcast sites. You will receive no further information from command. If questioned, you will admit to nothing.
The League prison bays are crammed with near-dead Navy prisoners. Hell. We hear of Kron's suffering, humiliated before crowds of League loyalists, baying for his blood. This hurts us most of all. The systematic murder of my comrades is now underway. We knew the risks. I have no fear of death.
So here's a special mission.
The message came directly from Kron. We're not fleeing, just retreating into Sol. The League's on our tail. The enemy seems so strong, but Kron is capable of the bravest decisions.
The retreat into Sol has been hampered by our fleet's state of disrepair. A damaged battleship is currently under repair at a warp hole exit. Intelligence confirmed that the ship's whereabouts are known by the League. The enemy have already dispatched forces briefed to destroy it completely. A defense grid must be constructed prior to their arrival. Use your grapple gun to move gun turrets and barrels into position over each gun base. All guns require construction before enemy craft reach the location.
So, you avoid that really bad ending. And the second ending is actually tied to this act as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they've retreated into Sol, and they're just trying to hold them off. Like, the League's mobilized, and they're trying to hold it off.
Building a big old weapons grid, sure.
Yeah, just gotta drag the barrels over, and then it'll figure out how to fire from there.
Sure. Here's Drake again.
It's a lot of explosions. You might have noticed that the other hexes, starting with Klein, also had no shields.
Uh-huh.
It must be that state of disrepair they mentioned.
Must be.
Can't even recharge people's shields anymore. Did I mention this game has amazing music, as you probably inferred from that ending?
Opponents will automatically construct when brought into the vicinity of each other.
What?
It's like you're getting orders from Mephistopheles.
Maximum capacity. You must gain us some time.
Look, it's a delusion. He just appears when Mertens is at his weakest.
Uh-huh.
Just like an imaginary friend of his, like, days as fighting on streets. You're never gonna get tired of that, are you?
I don't think it's possible.
So a League frigate, 2 of them will jump in, and these defense turrets will just wreck their face in.
Right.
And I was really desperate, because, you don't get to go up against a capital ship throughout the entirety of the first act, of this Gallonigher system.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really desperately trying to get a confirmed kill here, because I really want to try.
Nope.
And I did. Look at that explosion! I don't care who explodes, it's still going to look great.
Are the defense turrets at all vulnerable to enemy fighters?
Actually, no. They try to say that they're being overrun, but that's not the case.
Just 100% false. Good.
Look, a lot of things had to be cut out of this game, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ops. Mission successful. The League fleet has withdrawn. Navy battleship is completing repairs. Mission complete. Opening jump gate.
As expected, League fleets are attempting to enter Sol and put an end to our resistance. It is up to all Navy units to repel their advances as fiercely as possible. Commander Kron asks you to remember that though Sol may have been a prison, it is also your home. It is vital that defenses in the region of warp hole exits continue to be maintained if we are to keep out the League. The League continue to launch raids on Sol. They intend to weaken us further before all-out invasion. A number of our cargo vessels have been destroyed in the region of a cargo installation. Their valuable cargo is now loose and vulnerable to theft. Emergency backup units have been dispatched to the area, but until they arrive, the cargo pods must be protected. data sweeps reveal possible enemy attack formations. We expect the League to attempt raids on these pods. You are required to safeguard the pods and prevent League craft from leaving the sector with them.
It's a really easy mission, all told. So if 2 pods get destroyed, that's failure right there.
Sure.
If 2 get stolen, I'm sure that's also a failure, but they'll never get close enough to actually touch them.
So I'm starting to see basically where this ending is going. We're bottled up in Sol. We don't really have a way out. We're just trying to hold them off as long as we can. And considering they have all the resources...
You know, I don't try to keep those in, they just happen. I don't edit that in, that's entirely the game.
Alright.
So this is the flaw in the League's plan here. They jump in one at a time.
Right.
From whatever end they feel like. And then they will try to come over and grapple it. They won't even try to defend themselves.
Well, they have infinite people and infinite resources, so I guess they don't care.
I would also like to point out that we're right above Earth.
Huh. Maybe we could have put our jump gate somewhere else, I don't know.
Which gives the implication that the League was somehow operating to destroy those cargo transporters within the vicinity of Earth. Which should be well defended, you would think. So I thought this frigate was going to be like, oh, finally, I get a chance to destroy something. No. Because again, it just pops in to deposit some fighters, and then he fucks right off. Even though he could just sit in orbit there and destroy the installation, for example.
The League have failed in their attempt to retrieve the pods. Well done, Mertens. Good work.
I just cut out all the 1-by-1 guys jumping in. I'm serious, it's just 1-by-1. They don't do anything in this
I like
mission.
how we instantly know that they failed. We don't know.
Our tenuous grip on Sol continues to hold. We are managing to maintain resource levels under immense pressure from the League. If we are able to repeatedly protect our hardware supplies, we may be able to force the League back and ultimately break out of Sol once again.
Considering this is called Last Stand, I'm kind of skeptical about our breaking out of Sol at all.
Across all solar systems. The warp hole network is transferring the largest units. A massive convoy is destined for Sol, though intelligence have managed to decode its arrival data. We have installed a supergun in the vicinity which will fire when power levels are sufficient. Energy transfer from power cells to the gun's reactors is underway. You are required to protect the installation from enemy scout craft and ensure that the supergun fires as many times as necessary to destroy the enemy force.
By massive convoy, they only mean 3 frigates. I mean, this is in the universe of frigate, battlecruiser, dreadnought, destroyer.
Right.
But no, 3 frigates. Massive. But I mean, to us though, that is kind of a big deal.
Ops, this is Mertens, and I have some questions about the name of this mission. And is it necessary to call it Last Stand? I mean, I'm starting to get a little scared.
Don't ask questions.
I'm just saying, Ops. We've got some morale issues on the front.
This is also I also take issue with this extremely inefficient way of charging a weapon. Draining power from a cell, depositing it, draining from the other, and then
Can't
depositing
we,
again.
plug them in or something?
How are we cloaking these things while we're at it?
Moon magic. You're literally draining it out of reality. I don't know, man.
Well, this super gun is fragile as hell, so don't let anybody shoot it.
Oh, that would be awful.
But we definitely want people to get shot by it, and it's really effective at that. They were really proud of the super gun thing. Well, it sucks to be that guy.
Yeah.
Scans indicate small League presence approaching.
It wasn't small.
Good thing they didn't come any more quickly. Alright, that's pretty fun.
Also, this music is really good.
It's good music for a galactic trap shoot.
Convoy has been destroyed. Mission successful. Mission complete.
The debrief for this is adorable, by the way.
The supergun attack proved immensely successful. Further League forces are refusing to enter Sol as they expect to suffer immediate destruction. Commander Kron is now considering further offensive activity, as delayed intelligence data shows that Gallonigher is no longer the League's home system.
So yeah, it all goes on to the same system from there, but
Our
there
failure
is,
to prevent
well,
a warp hole breach
really
has
bad
led to
ending
a
here.
massive enemy
This is an even
incursion
worse
into
ending
Sol.
than the first.
The League's success has also triggered mutinous behavior amongst our civilian population.
No kidding.
They are turning on Navy units and demanding greater protection. Unfortunately, we have insufficient resources to satisfy these demands. Without unity, we are lost, though preemptive measures are being planned to prevent the League taking control of Sol. Commander Kron insists that whatever happens, the Navy must not lose its dignity. To this end, you may be required to lay down your life.
With twisted logic, the League tells us their struggle against us was a fight against oppression, which they must see through to the end. Sol will be destroyed forever. There's nowhere else for us to go. The League failed to destroy the Navy once before, but now they have another chance. Surely they'll take it. They've placed detonation grids around the system, while our forces place Nova torpedoes around the sun. Kron will blow up the system before the League does. Our defiance fills me with pride. When Kron's signal comes, rest assured, we will die gladly.
That is a lot worse than, they'll just kill off the Navy and take Sol. But no, they're going to destroy the entire system and everybody in it.
Just blow up the sun.
It's not like we haven't done that before, though.
It's a good sign when you've moved from, plucky resistance against the greater enemy to literally blowing up suns.
Yeah, because, even though we won, let's just make sure we won and just kill everybody else, because that's how depraved we've become.
The neat thing about the moral high ground is you can never lose it ever, no matter what you do.
The interesting thing about these endings, though, I should point out, I found the YouTube channel by the guy who worked on this game, who uploaded all the original source before they were compressed for the PlayStation disc. So that's the one I have spliced into my video here.
Nice. Alright, so next time we're going to move from abject defeat to
Gallonigher to
some
Kron.
sort of moderate success, at least.
Oh, there is no success for the Navy. How do you think the Navy's being run, by the way? I think it should be kind of clear.
Yes, it's clearly less competent Darth Vader, and that's saying something.
It's a cult.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright.
Devotion. Mm-hmm. Fire.
Well, I'm sure this will never end poorly. Good night, everybody.